This is Democracy Now!'s Amy Littlefield with Martina Starosta, and we're here in Coney Island. Now, we're right across from the iconic Wonder Wheel Ferris wheel, which is not moving right now. But more importantly, we're at the entrance of what's become an ad hoc relief center for a group called People's Relief.
Oh yeah, these are more up-to-date. My name is Adrienne Weibken. I am working with People's Relief in Coney Island. We are working with residents here, with other organizations that are working in Coney Island to bring relief to people who are still suffering after Hurricane Sandy, especially people who are elderly and disabled and are still trapped in their high-rise apartments. We, for the most part, have no experience doing disaster management or this. I mean, we have volunteers experience, but nothing of this scale.
Adrienne, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the cases that you've been seeing?
Yeah, so what I'm reading from now are reports about buildings that our volunteers have gone to and what they have written on these reports. This one, which came in, I guess, a couple days ago, it says of the building, the boiler leaked fuel oil and everyone had to leave. It was being pumped out as we were there. Those who stayed got sick. 2 kids went to the hospital from the fumes, and there are elderly tenants.
My name is Deborah Reed. I am the Resident Association President of Coney Island Houses, and I'm also a resident here. What happened out here in Coney Island Houses particularly is the fact that our boilers and, our everything, the electrical panels and everything are in the basements of the buildings. So as the waters rushed in from the bay and the Atlantic Ocean, it flooded our basements.
We're here on the 13th floor of one of the buildings in Coney Island Houses, a public housing complex, and Carmen Gonzalez has generously invited us in, and she showed us that she doesn't have any heat or any water in her apartment right now. She's up here on the 13th floor. This is her kitchen sink. So basically the water has been coming off and on recently.
Yeah, but it's more off than on. This is my bathroom, and I have it prepared with water to keep the smell, clean the house, and to flush the bathroom. And we use it also take a wannabe bath.
So you take a sponge bath basically with that water?
Well, no, I take a bucket, and I take water out of there. And I use the basin, and you soak yourself, and then you rinse yourself. This is my room, and these are all the blankets that I'm using to keep warm.
So you have 4 blankets and 2 sheets on your bed right now?
Yes, and I have about five different things on, and I have...
You have 5 shirts on right now?
Yes, I do, and I have a sweater. At night I sleep with a jacket, a coat. I suffer from diabetes and neuropathy, so when it gets very cold, I feel like if my feet are gonna just break, my toes.
So Adrienne, for our radio listeners, if you can just describe what's going on behind you right now.
Yeah, so we're in a parking lot by the MCU Stadium in Coney Island. There are enormous lines of people waiting online for everything. This is, it's FEMA and Red Cross and other organizations that are giving away clothes and food and that kind of stuff. So I cannot even guesstimate how many people this is. What is this, 2,000 people? And this is just right at this very instant. This parking lot is here every day. Every day it is like this.
My name is Miss Hill, Channy Hill, and I want to give thanks first of all to my Lord and Savior up above. And I want to thank the people that come out and give all the stuff to the people, because we sure need it. We definitely need it.
And where do you live, Miss Hill?
I live 2946 West 23rd Street.
And is that a New York City public housing?
Yes, it is.
And we've heard that you all had to pay your rent up front, even though you've been without heat and electricity.
Well, you see me, I didn't pay any rent. I didn't pay any rent for this month. I hadn't planned on to, because, it took me back, so I don't pay much anyway, so hopefully next month I'll pay rent,
When was your rent due?
On the 1st of the month.
And why did you make that decision not to pay?
Because of the situation I was in. And I thought it was a very good decision that I made.
My name is Dominic M. Recchi Jr. I'm the City Councilman for Coney Island for the 47th Council District. I'm also the Finance Chairman in the City Council.
Let me ask you, we've been seeing stories that residents in NYCHA housing and public housing here in Coney Island are being asked to pay their rent on time up front, even though some of them have been without power and heat and electricity and so forth. What do you say to that? Do you think that's fair?
NYCHA had a meeting on the weekend and said that in the January they will get a deduction on their rent, or if not, have to pay their rent. And we're trying to work out the figures right now. And the reason for that is because they have to. It's a bookkeeping issue, but we will work with NYCHA. No one is going to be thrown out of their houses. No one is going to be brought to court, brought up on eviction charges. You know, an eviction proceedings will start. All right, I will represent. I'm an attorney. I will protect any one of my constituents who get an eviction notice. They are not throwing people out of their apartments.
But why is it that they have to pay that rent right up front? Why not just give people a waiver for this month?
The way it was explained to me, it's a bookkeeping issue, and it's the way the books are done.
Do you think it's fair that people have to pay even though they've been living in these caves that we're hearing about?
Listen, it's part of the process, but they're not forcing anybody to pay. If you cannot pay, they will work with you and we'll work it out. No one is being forced to pay. No one's putting a gun to their head. John Ray is very sympathetic and telling people you're going to get a deduction in January 1.